Hello friends, welcome you all to my channel. This video is part of the playlist Python Basics Programming Beginner's Daily Dose, where I try to come up with videos on fundamental concepts of Python programming for beginner level programmers so that beginner level programmers or developers of Python will get a better insight of how things works in Python behind the scenes. So this is part 2 of the discussion on working with a tuple. In part 1, I have discussed how do we instantiate a tuple object. If you have not watched that video, please watch it, watch the part 1. Then you can continue to watch this video part 2. Here I will, in this part 2 video, I will discuss on the common sequence operations of a tuple. Before I get started, I will highly request all of you to support my channel by subscribing to my channel, like the videos. If these videos are useful to you, if they are beneficial to you, then please like them, share them with your friends, and also do not forget to press the bell icon so that you will be notified by my future videos as I regularly post these kind of videos. So let's get started with this video. Okay, so on the left hand side, I will have the Python shell, and on the right hand side, I have a notepad where I will explain something visually as and when required. So, in this video, we will discuss on the common sequence operations of a tuple. So, tuple is a built-in sequence data type, just like you have lists and other sequence data types like lists, range, and strings and bytes, byte array, and so on. So tuple is a sequence data type built in Python. So the first uh, operation that we can do on a tuple is the in operator. That is to check if an object is present in a tuple or not. So let's say we have a tuple 1 comma 2 comma let's say 3, and we can check if 1 is in T or not. So this is the syntax. X, the syntax is, I will write down on the notepad. The syntax is x in S, where S is a sequence and X is an object that we want to check. So over here, if you do 1 in T, it will return true. So 3 in T will return true, but if I do 4 in T, it will return false. So this is the first sequence operation, that is to find, to see, to check if an object X is present in the tuple or not. For one, you can also there is another operator, a not in, which checks whether an object is or does not belong to a tuple. So X not in operator checks whether X is not present in S. So if I do 4 not in T, it will return true. Okay. Now is the index operator, that is we try to access a particular element of a tuple with the index. This is the syntax xsi. Now I is a index. If I is negative, then if I is positive, then it will have the usual meaning as the elements of a tuple begins with the index position 0. And if I is greater than or equal to the length of the sequence, then it will throw index error. So let's see, we have in this tuple T 3 elements. So obviously T0 will give 1, T1 will give 2, T2 will give 3. What if we do T3? So we are getting index error because the index 3 is out of the range. The index positions, all the possible index positions of T is 0, 1 and 2. Now, what if I is negative? What if you do t minus 1? Now, uh, what happens is, if I is negative, if I is less than 0, then what happens is, then I is recomputed as length of s plus I. So here we gave I as minus 1 and length of t was 3. So 3 minus 1, 2. So we got 3 as the element 3 has index position 0, 1, 2. So if I is negative, if I is less than 0, then the indexing actually starts from the end. So then I becomes length of s plus I. So that was the index operator, where we try to access a particular element with the index position. Now the next is concatenation operator, where we concatenate a tuple, a sequence. Here S is a tuple. Okay, let's say T. We concatenate T with another sequence. So T is a tuple. Since we are talking about tuple, T is a tuple, and we can concatenate T with a similar type of sequence. S must be a similar type of sequence, meaning S has to be another tuple. So let's see, we have this. Can we do now T is a tuple, is a sequence, list is also a sequence. Can we do this? No. Can only concatenate tuple, not list, to tuple. See, so it says you can only concatenate a tuple with another tuple. So in this syntax, is since we are talking about tuple, I'm discussing in the context of a tuple. So T and S are tuple. So if we do, let's say we have another tuple 4, 5, 6. So if we do T1 plus T2, if you do T plus T2, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So T2, the elements of the T2 are being concatenated with the elements of T, and we are getting a new tuple. Now remember that concatenation of immutable sequences always creates a new tuple. So since tuples are immutable sequence, when you concatenate two tuples, it creates a new tuple. Now there is another operator called repetition operator, which is similar to concatenation, but with a different syntax. Like if you do T star n, where n is a positive integer. I think n can also be 0. N is a positive integer, or maybe 0. I'm not sure if it will take 0 or not. So what it does is, this basically means T plus T plus T plus T n times. We concatenate the tuple T n times, and the resultant tuple is returned. So as an example, T into 3 is equals to T plus T plus T. So let's see with some examples. What if we do T into 3? So we get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The tuple, the elements of the tuple T were 1, 2, 3. So that is being copied 3 times. I mean, uh, uh, the elements of the tuple T, that is 1, 2, 3, are, so T star 3 means T plus 3. So T plus 3, T plus T, it will give 1 comma 2 comma 3, 1 comma 2 comma 3, and then with another plus T, it will append the elements of the T, that is 1, 2, 3. So this is very straightforward. Now I want to see if what if I give 0. Okay, so it accepts 0, so it returns nothing. So it returns a tuple with no elements, empty tuple. So remember that if you use the star operator, repetition operator with n equals to 0, it will return an empty tuple. Okay, and of course n cannot be negative. Okay, so -1, it is also accepting, it is not showing any error, but it will return an empty tuple. So I think any negative number will return empty tuple. Now in the documentation it says that the repetition operator for immutable sequence, since tuple is an immutable sequence, the repetition operator in for an immutable sequence is a costly operation, meaning the runtime, the time complexity is quadratic in the total length of the sequence. So what it is suggested, what the recommended, if you want to have if you want to concatenate tuples with multiple repetitions, then it is advised to use a list with the extend function. So if you for some reason, if you are doing let's say uh, like this, like this, or maybe this repeatedly for a multiple number of times, then it is advised to convert the tuple into a list by using the list function and then using the extend. I will try to make another video on this to get a clear idea of what it means, and how the extending of a list yes, works faster than the repetition of a tuple. I will try to make another video in the future. Now, okay, so now we have the slice. I have already created multiple videos on sequence slicing, where you access a subsection of a sequence using the ij operator, ij and k operator. So sequence slicing has two forms, like uh, since we are discussing tuple here, so I will use the letter T. So if you want to have a slice out of a T tuple, you use this syntax, or you use this syntax. So basically this, the T I colon j returns all the elements of the tuple starting from the index position I up to index position j, but not including j. And for T I colon, and the second variation, T I colon j colon k, this is an extended version of a slice. This returns all the elements of the tuple starting from the index position I up to j, not including j, but with a index position incrementation by k. So it will start from I, then it will go to I plus k, then it will select I plus k, then it will select I plus 2k, so on. I will not discuss much on the sequence slicing because I already have videos uploaded in this playlist with the title sequence slicing. Please watch watch those videos to have a better understanding. Now, the next operator is we have uh, index, that is T. We want to find the index of a object X in a in a tuple. Now the actual syntax is, so the variations are, you can have this, it will return the index position of the object x if found in the tuple T, or you can have, you can give the section of the tuple where it will find. So we can have like this. The first variation will try to find x in the entire tuple T and return the index position if found. And in the second variation, it will search the object x in tuple T from the index position j up to index position, from index starting from index position I up to index position j, but not including j. Now, if x is not found in the tuple T, then it will throw index error. So let's see what happens if I do t index 4. It gives it gives value error, means the tuple in x is not in tuple, x was not found in the tuple. So if x is not found in the tuple, it will throw value error exception. And if I do 3, it will return 2. And also I can use the second variation. I can say start from the second element, that is 1, up to I am searching 3, start from the second element, and what was the syntax of I colon? Okay, so if I do is this the syntax with comma? I mean, I want to search the number 3 starting from index position 1 up till end. So 2. Okay. What if I give 4 here? 2. Okay. So what if I specify an ij which is out of the range? So the tuple T has 3 elements, 1, 2, 3. If I give, the maximum index position is 2. So if I give 3 here, what will it give? Value error, x not in tuple. Okay. So now in the last example, you see it gives value error, because basically when you are using the second variation, when you are using the x comma I comma j, what it does, this actually behind the scenes what happens is it will first create a slice from I and j. So it will use this I and j. It will create the slice from the tuple from the given I and j values. Now, since slice is also a sequence, it will also have the operator index. Now it will use index this. So in our case, in the last example, we used I as 3, and we used 3 as I and 4 as j. So if you see t, the slice t 3 4 is basically an empty tuple. It's an empty sequence. So the element 3, this operator, so the element 3 is being searched in an empty tuple and it was not found. That's the reason it throw a value error exception. So t index, so t index 3 comma 1 comma 3 comma 4 is basically equals to t 3 4. It will first create the slice, and then on the slice it will invoke the index operation. I will not execute this. So this is what is happening behind the scenes. Now regarding how slicing works, you please check my previous videos on sequence slicing. Okay, what else? What operator do we have? Okay, so we obviously have the length operation. that is length, and t. So it will return the number of elements in the tuple t. So we have this, and we can also check on the 2, 3. This is pretty straightforward and simple. Now there is another uh, uh, t dot count and x. This function, the count operation on a tuple t with an argument x, x is your object, it will return the number of times the object x is present in the tuple t. Now this time it will not throw any exception if x was not found in the tuple. It will simply return 0 if x was not found in the tuple t. So let's see, x count 4, 0. 4 was not in the tuple t, but it returned 0. And 3 returned 1. So if I quickly 2, 2, 3, this is a tuple, and if I say 2, it returns 2. So this is pretty straightforward. Nothing much to explain on this. Now, what is the next operator? Now, these two operator, there is a min t, but t is a tuple, and there is a max. So basically, min returns the minimum element from the tuple t, and max returns the maximum element of the tuple t. Now, you need to understand that for min and max to function properly, all the elements of the tuple need to be compatible with each other. For this, the criteria is all elements of T must be compatible for less than and greater than comparison operation, because we have to compare each element with every other element in the tuple to see which is lesser or which is greater. So now, what does it mean? All elements of T must be compatible. Now in Python, numerics are compatible to each other for less than and greater than operation. Similarly, strings are compatible to strings. Numeric is not compatible with string. A string is not compatible with numeric. So only numeric is compatible with numeric. Strings are compatible with strings. A list is compatible with a list. A tuple is compatible with a tuple. So now, how are two lists compared for less than and greater than operator? So let's talk about the tuple. So no, we did not discuss about comparing two tuples. So for a tuple, all the elements of the tuple need to be compatible for less than and greater than comparison operator. So if T is something, we have lots of element, and let's say over here we have X and we have Y and some more. So if we want to find the minimum or the maximum element of T, then any two elements must be compatible for less than operator, and also must be compatible with the greater than operator. I mean, for min, x and y must be compatible for less than operator, and for max, x and y must be compatible for greater than operator. Now, how two objects? Now, for this you need to understand the concept of how two objects in Python are compared for less than or greater than. I will try to make a future video on this, but as of now, remember that for min and max, for min we are trying to find the minimum element. So all we need to know is that whether two elements out of two elements which is lesser. So if x and y are two elements of a tuple T, then they need to be compatible so that we can execute the operation x less than y or y less than x. Now for that less than and greater than operator to be successful on any two objects x and y, uh, x and y must be compatible. That means uh, x and y could either be both numeric, or they could both be string, or they could both be lists, or they could both be tuple. But then again, how two tuples are compared and how two lists are compared, it's a recursive concept. I will try to explain that in some future video. So let's quickly check what is the minimum of tuple T. Of course, it is 1. And what is the maximum of tuple T? Of course, it is 3. Now, let's quickly check. If I do, let's test some error cases. Let's say I have a tuple with incompatible data type. So, as you can see over here, 1 and 2 are, I am passing a tuple 1, the letter A, comma 2 to the min function. So now in the tuple, 1 and 2 are compatible data elements, but the letter A is not compatible with 1 or 2. So this will say type error less than operator not supported between instances of string and int. So the letter A is basically a string. So in Python we don't have a data type of single character. It's always a string. So strings and int are not compatible data type for less than operator. Similarly, you can see if this will also say that less than not supported between instances of tuple and list. But if I do here list, it will report. It will since lists are compatible data for less than operator, and since both the lists are empty, it is returning one of the lists. Now, okay, so this is regarding the min and max. What else do we have? What else? What operations do we have? Maybe count, index, we did length, min, max. Yeah. So we have covered all the common sequence operations of a tuple. So if you have any doubt regarding any of these operations, please let me know in the comment section. I will do my best to address your question. So that was all in this video. If you like this video, then please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and please support me by subscribing to my channel. That will help me grow my channel and will motivate me to come up with this kind of videos in the future. In the next part, I will discuss about the concept, discuss about the immutability of a tuple. So tuple, as you know, it's an immutable sequence data type. Now, what are the things you need to know and understand as tuple being an immutable data type, that I will discuss in the next video. Thanks for watching. So until the next video, take care and bye.